Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Apra back on our show, making firecracker shrimp and to wash it all down, homemade limoncello. This is one meal you won't want to miss. We're cooking with some of the best chefs right here in our own community. So grab a seat, get comfortable, because we have another great show for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hello and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Jeff Kawakami. I'm here today with my friend Apra, who is a chef and caterer. And today we're going to be making firecracker shrimp two ways and then homemade limoncello. Yeah. So I know you're very busy, just like I am, because you're a caterer. Yeah. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. I love coming back to Community Cooking, and I love Torrance's Farmers Market. It's so inspirational.
Well, we love having you here. Everything you do is always unique and fun and fresh. Speaking of which, this is very unique.
Yes.
Yeah, firecracker shrimp.
Yes.
Something I'm familiar with, but I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with it.
Yes, and what's nice is a lot of different restaurants and people, or even family restaurants, they make this dish, they make it their own way, like a signature way. Yeah. So that's why I decided to do two separate ways to present it, because sometimes with my catering clients, as I'm sure you do as well, they have a different flavor profile and they don't want anything too hot or spicy.
And firecracker.
Yes, too firecracker. I can pretend to be firecracker, but kind of firecracker. So I have two different recipes, but both incorporate a little bit of sweet. We love that brown sugar because it kind of balances the flavors.
Well, you would like the sweet and spicy, and you know, you're gonna have. Well, tell us about your ingredients.
Yes, absolutely. Well, of course, we're going to have garlic. All right, that's right off the get-go. You can make it without garlic, but why?
Why?
For the first one that we're going to make, we're going to use a like a hot chili sauce, your favorite flavor, whatever you want. Or you can omit it. Or you can make it the second way, which is the way I have it here, already pre-blended. Some paprika, some cumin, some red powder, like a cayenne powder, and red chili flakes, salt and pepper.
Nice.
What do you
Very
think?
nice.
That's
it
good,
smells
right?
really good. I like the smoked paprika.
Yes.
I love smoked paprika.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just adds in that nice dark, dusky, extra something flavor.
Dusty. That's a good word.
What is that? It's delicious. Yeah. That's what it is. And then, of course, I've got our star, which are this wonderful Argentinian wild-caught red shrimp, which are on the Atlantic. I know. It's on the Atlantic Gulf. Kind of close to the Patagonia waters.
Okay.
And they farm it there, or rather not farm it, but they fish it there. So they're wild caught, a lot more sustainable, which is always a bonus for all of us to follow.
Yes.
And I did them two different ways. I have one that I've already cleaned and peeled for us to make life easier. And then the other ones I left whole just to kind of show you a little trick to devein it in a quick and easy way. But they all need to marinate. So do you mind if we go ahead and get started with one and then we can keep chatting?
Absolutely. So,
perfect.
The marinade.
The marinade.
We have a plastic bag,
yes,
which makes things easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes it quick too for cleanup. So you don't mind a little kick, right?
Oh, I love spice.
Perfect. So we're going to use pretty much most of this.
I have hot sauce in my car. Not even
really?
Kidding. I carry hot sauce with me everywhere I go.
Oh, that's
because you never know.
You never know when you want a little something.
Yeah.
To this, I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar.
Beautiful.
I love my brown sugar. And then I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil just to kind of emulsify everything. Another good word, right?
Yeah, and the oil gets everything going, too. It helps your spices and your flavors move around on the shrimp.
So exactly right. I think what I might also add, sometimes I like to play with things. I might just throw a tiny bit of lemon zest because we're going to incorporate it a little bit later on. But I find if I add it to the marinade, this is going to add a little brightness to it.
Oh, yeah. I love zest.
I do, too. So then I just kind of smush it around. That's it.
That's so easy.
So easy.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't like a lot of spice, go back a little bit on the chili sauce.
Totally customizable.
Exactly. Okay, so that's it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to skewer the first kind so they can marinate in the bag while we work on the second one. Okay. So we're going to use lemongrass. I know you're familiar with lemongrass, aren't you?
I love lemongrass. A lot of people don't know what lemongrass is.
Yes. Yeah. It is a wonderful byproduct I like to use for skewering. Now, I took the liberty of doing one batch. Would you mind doing a second batch?
Not at all.
So lemongrass has this wonderful citrusy, fruity flavor, and when I skewer my shrimp with it, I notice as it cooks, there's that wonderful steam that happens. So it's got this extra bonus flavor. So my trick to get these with the lemongrass, which it's not very hardy rather, it has a little bit of a give. So I just pre-poke it with a skewer.
Very nice.
And there we go. And I just do it just like that. And I like this because it's an appetizer size. As you know, we do a lot of parties, and sometimes it's a lot easier just to have a one-bite wonder. That's why I removed the
tail?
The tail, so that way they can just pick it right up and pop it in their mouth.
Yeah, I know a lot of times people don't want to eat something if it's too big of a bite.
Yes.
Especially when you're at a party, they get like self-conscious.
Yes, exactly. Or say they don't want sauce dripping all down them.
Yeah.
That's why I like to coat this. I don't usually have a dipping sauce with this because I find it has a lot of flavor. You may have noticed I like to thread my shrimp front to back. That way you can present it really nicely. I mean, that's beautiful, right?
That is
Pop it right in your mouth. I don't usually recommend you eat the lemongrass. It has been cooked, but it's awfully woody, don't you find that?
Yeah, it's very fibrous.
All right, great. Let's get this started, and we'll get the next round going. So that's it. That's all I do.
That is so simple.
You can add some more lemon zest to it, lime zest, whatever you want. I usually don't add the fresh herbs at this point of it because I don't want it to burn when you're cooking it, but you could absolutely add that to steep.
Now, we're going to cook this right away, but normally you could put this in the fridge and let it marinate for a couple hours.
20 minutes, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Usually not more than 2 hours because shrimp is so tender, it breaks down pretty easily. So let me put this over here. The next one we're going to do is our deveining.
Yes, so do you have a trick for deveining?
A little bit.
Okay.
Especially with this I mean, look how beautiful.
That
Large,
is really beautiful.
And these poor guys gave their life for us. Thanks, guys. But you see, there's that little intro. We don't want to eat that. So all I do is I just kind of pick off the end of it, and I can pull it right out. Look at that. How easy is that?
That's so simple.
All right, and then I'm going to leave the shell on because we're going to grill it with the shell.
Well, the shell has so much flavor. A lot of people just disregard it. Even sometimes I save the shells and I make it into like a shrimp stock.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I am a big fan of not wasting food, so I'm glad to hear that. Sometimes if they get a little tricky, I'll use that skewer and just kind of scoop it out. But for the most part, they come out very easily. So I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to this, and I've already put together my spice blend. So to this, I'm just going to add a little bit of the brown sugar to get that profile going, and we'll just plop it right on top of all this.
This is
and
so
we'll let
easy.
it start to marinate. Oh, right. Well, and you can add, if you don't like cumin, a lot of people don't because of that strong coriander flavor, use maybe garam masala. Go crazy.
I love garam masala. It's so floral and light. Yeah.
I think I'll add a little more brown sugar to that. I don't usually salt and pepper at this point. You can, but I figured we're going to bloom some spices inside of our pan, which is why I reserved some of that as well. And we'll give this a chance to marinate. And we can probably start with this first one. So let me kick up the heat.
Yeah, what is this guy right here?
I know, don't you love him?
It's very interesting. It's an indoor grill, I'm assuming.
It is indeed. It's an electric grill. I've had it for probably 20 years.
Wow.
People keep wanting me to get rid of them, and I can't do it. I just love it so much.
If it still works, sometimes the things that they made that are a little bit older work way better than the things they make now.
Exactly. I'm just going to add a pinch more of olive oil. You can use, by the way, grapeseed oil in the cooking process. You can use vegetable oil. You can use coconut oil, sesame oil. I mean, go crazy.
And you know what? I'm actually not a huge fan of coconut oil in things, but this, because it has kind of an Asian flair, I think coconut oil might actually lend a good flavor to it.
I think you might be right. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to bring this a little closer. And I'm going to add a little bit more oil. And we're going to bloom some spices, which you know the trick.
Yes, because you're bringing out all the essential oils, and it's going to give it, just taste fresher.
Wait. That's right. I forgot. We're going to do this one with the first one, and that one is not going to be as spicy. But I am still going to add just a tiny bit of red pepper flake because I think that that's fun. And at this point, I'll bloom a little bit of pepper with that. I've got it cranked up on the highest heat because we want to hear that sizzle.
And this is where the firecracker's coming in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a little pepper, a little heat.
This is also how we're going to get a little extra firecracker. Exactly. That's exactly the way I do it. You just grab it and you punch it. Now, you can always buy the pre-peeled garlic, or you can, if you don't have the fresh garlic, you can always use that jarred granulated one, but I'm not a fan of that.
I do not like jarred garlic. I'm a fan of the pre-peeled garlic.
Yes. To make life easy.
It just makes it easier, and they've done nothing to it.
No.
You know? The garlic has done nothing wrong. You don't need to do more to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. If we can do as much as we can to eat non-processed food,
Throw it over?
Yeah,
All
throw
right.
it over. Gorgeous. Then I'm all on board. Now, because this has a Teflon surface, I'm going to go ahead and use my my spatula that is heat resistant.
Okay.
That way, I don't have to worry. Oh gosh, you can already start to smell it.
It smells great. And this is going to be for the
Yum.
shell-on shrimp.
This is going to be for the lemongrass.
Oh, okay, for the lemongrass. Okay.
Exactly. That way we don't have to wait too long, because this has been marinating a tiny bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to pop it. Here's the sizzle.
I love that. That heats up quick.
Very quick.
I like that. And also, shrimp cooks very quick.
It sure does. And this particular type of shrimp, the red Argentinian shrimps, they cook for a less amount of time. Oops, you fell off.
Oh.
Which is wonderful. I was doing some research on this because I had come across them. I just love their color.
Yeah,
They're
it's beautiful.
naturally this beautiful briny color. And I think that a lot of people don't know about it yet. So I'm going to try and get the word out there.
I love
because
that.
not only does it cook quick, it says up to 2 minutes. And this has been on for maybe 1.
Oh, yeah.
So it's already getting those beautiful grill marks.
And that smell, especially because you
wonderful.
toasted the spices first.
Yes.
And the garlic's not going to be too strong because it's in the pan.
Yes.
For those people who don't like a lot of strong garlic flavors.
Exactly. It's just imparting some flavors. So while we're waiting, I'm going to plop this guy on a little higher heat so he can be ready for our skewers. Oh, you know what? While I'm waiting for this to cook, let's start skewering these bad boys.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
You're very welcome, Anne.
My favorite sous chef ever. Okay, I'm going to...
So we're using regular skewers on this one?
Yes,
Okay.
and these I've had soaking for about 20 minutes, and because oftentimes I do this on a grill at home. Now for this, let me show you a little trick, and I know you will probably already know it. We're going to thread it the same way. We're going to take it from the fat side, the head, through the tail. Boom, just like that. All right, and we can just set them there for the moment.
Got that for you.
I'm going to finish turning these over. Look at how gorgeous. And that brown sugar has started to caramelize.
Yeah, I can
So we've got
smell.
those grill marks. And these are going to be done very, very soon. Wow. That smells pungent. In fact, I'm going to...
That's really strong.
I love it. I don't mind. Garlic. Hope you don't have to kiss anybody later. And the way you can tell if they're done is you just lightly press on it. You can use your tongue. You can just kind of feel it. And we don't want to overcook them.
I was going to say nothing is worse than overcooked shrimp.
It's so true.
It's rubbery.
And have you noticed, well, if you were to do your research, this Argentinian shrimp, they say it's very similar to the lobster flavor because of its location, because it's on the Atlantic side. All right, so I'm going to plop them right up because, again, I don't want them to overcook. But how pretty is that? And then we'll...
And how quick and easy was that?
So fast. The longest part was just to skewer it and then to wait for the marinade to cook in.
That's also why you should cook with a friend, because I'm here to help you.
Yay!
Yeah.
Wonderful. And I'll just put this on. This is the point where you can add your some more lime zest or whatnot, which we will do as we get a little bit closer. All right, thank you for getting those done.
You're very welcome.
I see we have our oil is already smoking, so I won't add any more.
Wonderful.
And to that I'm going to bloom just a little more of these lovely red chili flakes and some more of that lovely spice blend.
Wonderful.
And just
so you're
for a
mimicking,
moment or two.
You're mimicking the spice that was in there.
Exactly.
In this the oil.
Exactly, because I don't want it to, I want to just impart more flavor.
Yeah.
It's just another way of imparting more flavor. Now, if I were to do this out on the grill at my house, say, I would not do the same way. Okay, let's see.
Well, it would just fall through, wouldn't it?
They would. Exactly. Exactly. Even using a grill basket, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So there we go. I'm just going to plop these on, and these, again, will take about the same amount of time, but because of the shell, it might take a tiny bit longer because they'll steam inside as the heat starts cooking them. It releases their natural juices, their delicious natural juices, and we'll just keep our eye on that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of zest to it.
Okay, you're going to add a little zest? Absolutely.
Do that to me, just to those. So we're going to cut that, if you would,
I will.
in some slices, because I thought it'd be fun to have as a garnish.
Oh, beautiful.
But maybe also for, we can use it for seasoning it in addition. I'll put a little garnish on it. We're using Thai basil, which I love Thai basil. Do you use that very often in your Asian cooking?
Yes, I love Thai basil because it's a little more fragrant.
Yes.
You know, it has just a different flavor. I feel like sweet basil has kind of has more of a licorice flavor to me. And this is more, I don't know, it's almost a spicier type of basil.
Ooh, yes. Almost, licorice. I guess that's a great way of, there's just like this floral, like, what is this? It's delicious. Oh, good. These are getting some nice grill marks.
Oh,
Let me turn down the heat a little bit.
Yeah, that pan is rocking.
It is. It's choking me out. There we go. We got lots of grill marks on it. I like to cook on an open flame rather than electric most of the time, because I can
feel ya.
control it a little better. So some of these got away from us a little, but since we're going to peel it, they'll take away all the char.
Doesn't
and it'll
even matter.
release that yummy, juicy, lobster-like quality of these Argentinian shrimp.
All right, well, I think now is a good time to take a break. We need to wash ourselves.
Yes.
And clean this area up. And then when we get back, we're going to be making homemade limoncello.
Yes.
So yeah, don't go anywhere. This is community cooking. Welcome back to Community Cooking. I'm Jeff Kawakami here with my friend Chef Ann Apra, and we were just making firecracker shrimp 2 ways, and now you're going to show me how to make limoncello.
That's right.
All right.
I figured with a nice flavor profile with all those spices with our firecracker shrimp, it'd be nice to pair it with something bright and citrusy and light.
Wonderful.
And a little sweet.
And a little sweet. And I'm familiar with limoncello.
Oh, good.
I've had it many times, but I've never made it. So, very simple, right?
It's very simple. You just need the gift of time.
Okay.
So you can't want to make limoncello and have it that night. You need to, it's a process that could take 30 to 45 days, as little as 3 weeks if
Oh,
you
wow.
want to rush it.
Okay.
Which is why I went ahead and pre-made my limoncello
Thank
right
you.
here, right? And there are some ingredients. I'll just tell you real quick about how to make it.
Please.
We need our beautiful farmer's market fresh organic lemons that I've already washed and scrubbed. There's your favorite brand of vodka, which I put already in a sealable container. And to that, we're going to add, after 30 days pass, we're going to add simple syrup, which
Okay.
I'm just going to get this started because it needs to come to a boil and all that stuff.
Wonderful.
So it's basically, simple syrup is almost equal ratios. This particular one is about a cup and a half of water to a cup of, this is a pure organic raw cane sugar.
Okay.
And that's why I see the color, it's more brown. That's why you've got such a dark color. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, this is the simple syrup that I made.
Oh, wow.
And the limoncello itself is also made with the same sugar. That's why that has that more amber color as
Yeah.
opposed to that bright yellow like a lemon that you see with maybe the more commercial brands or the ones from Italy. And that's because they use a white sugar. You can use a refined white sugar if you want to have that color. If I don't have to use processed foods, I'd rather not. To get started, if you do me a
Yes.
favor, just use a regular vegetable peeler. You can use a paring knife if you prefer, but I find if you use a vegetable peeler, you're going to avoid getting the pith.
Yeah, we don't want too much pith.
Exactly, and the pith, as you know, is the white part in it.
Yeah.
So this is just perfect. It's not too much. It's nice and bright. I love it. All right, I'm going to let you finish with the peels. In the
All right.
meantime, I'm going to stir our simple syrup. So because of the magic of time, this has to come to a boil. It's going to boil for about, about 8 to 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So it comes to a low boil, and it just helps make more of a syrup. Okay, so pretend that that's already done. That's what this is.
Wonderful.
So you'll have the limoncello with the lemon peels in the alcohol. You can use pure grain, like I said, or your favorite vodka. And you're going to want that to steep for 30 days in a nice dry place
Wow.
with a lid on it.
Yeah.
You can do it 2 weeks, but 30 days is ideal and more traditional.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, you're not going to have that bright lemon flavor that you're looking for, right?
Yeah, well, 2 weeks, it takes about that long to extract all those wonderful lemon oils into the alcohol. So I like 30 days. I'd
Yeah,
rather
no.
be patient.
Hey, if you want something done properly, you're going to have to wait sometimes.
That's right.
So,
Okay,
now,
good.
Also, we've talked about maybe making this into a mocktail. Now, limoncello itself is an alcohol.
Yes.
But simple syrup is super versatile. You
It
can
sure
flavor
is.
it with anything.
You sure can. It has a lovely flavor. You can steep it with ginger. You
I
can
love
steep
that.
it with lavender, rosemary if you want to make it
Basil.
more herbal,
Yeah.
herbaceous. That's just such a great word. So this is just traditional. So I didn't add any flavors to it because I didn't want to impart anything on this particular batch of limoncello, which is mocking what this is.
Yes.
So speaking of mocking and cocktails,
Yes.
what do you say we
Yes.
make a cocktail?
I'm
Make a
always.
cocktail.
Yes.
All right, good. Well, like I said, I already made the limoncello, which this is 30 days. It's been steeped. It also had the exact portions of of the simple syrup added to it. So it's 100% ready. And again, the color difference is beautiful.
That is really beautiful.
Now, to make a cocktail, if I can bother you, in the freezer, I have some ice. What do
You can always bother me for a cocktail. Always.
Great. And I'm going to borrow your peeler, and I'm going to make a couple of beautiful zest twists for our cocktail and our mocktail. All right. Oops. Fan overboard. And we're going to just use a martini shaker. Plop this over here so you can see. And I like to use a lot of ice because you really want it extra frothy.
Well, also ice is, I bartend as well.
Yes,
you know,
of
and
course
so,
you do.
Yeah, ice is an element in the cocktail. You need the ice. It helps kind of dilute it. It also helps chill it. It's part of the process.
It's 100% correct. So to make this cocktail, I'll go ahead and make the cocktails, and we'll talk about the mocktails. So this is the limoncello. It's the same as this. I just put it in this cute little portion-controlled container.
I love little jars like that.
Aren't they great?
Yeah.
So it's basically 1 ounce of limoncello.
All right.
To 1 ounce of your favorite vodka, which I didn't want to take from that because I want that to steep. So this is just a regular vodka.
Wonderful.
All right, and I'll do 2 jiggers of that. We'll not make it too strong because, you know, we have to talk to people.
We still have to drive home eventually.
Eventually. And then an orange liqueur.
Ooh.
There's a lot of them on the market. You can maybe just do an orange syrup if you were making a mocktail onto this. And you're going to put about equal parts. So I won't fill it too much. So it's basically 3 ounces. Well, it's 1 ounce to each, but since we're making 2, I'm doing a double batch. Pretty simple, huh?
Yeah. Am I going crazy on the lemons?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's great. Perfect. I'll be using that. And don't waste food, right? We're going to use the lemons. Later on, I'll make something delicious with it. So
Perfect.
I never waste food.
Oh,
I
never.
hope you can hear me while I'm doing this nice and loud. All right, so I'm going to just keep shaking this, as you know, until we get that nice frothy thing. I wonder if you could do me a favor.
Yes, what can I do for you?
We're going to do a little a sugar rim.
Oh, yeah.
To make it special. And as you know, you're going to twist your twist. Twist the twist right into the glass so you can get all that wonderful flavor on it, the oils.
And we saw how important that oil is.
Boy, did we ever.
Yeah.
And just dump it into, this is the same organic cane sugar, but you can use, they have those fun little rims that in some of the liquor stores, pink if you have a color theme, lime. You can even add, say, lime zest or even some lemons and finally
I've
lemon
done that.
zest just to impart more flavor. We always love flavor. All right, and this just keeps going, and it's got that nice frothiness. Oh my goodness. All right, and I see that our simple syrup is just bubbling away here, which is perfect. When it is finished, I'll just set it aside. I'll let it cool, and then I'm going to reserve it. I just like to have this at the ready. I just have a little container, and I'll funnel it in once it's cool, and it's great to have simple syrup around the house any time of day.
Well, I know a lot of people, especially in the South, use simple syrup for their tea instead of using regular sugar.
Sweet tea.
Yeah, sweet tea. It's already dissolved. It's ready to go.
Wonderful. Look at that. Oh, now if you wanted to add a little brightness and freshness into this, I like to also float a little bit of charged water.
Yes.
Seltzer, club soda, or whatever. May I do that for you too?
Oh, yes, please.
Let's
I like a little bubble. Yeah.
It is fun, isn't it? And it just kind of lightens it up on a summer day. Now, if it was winter and you wanted this, just have it regular.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're ready to enjoy it.
All right, great. Well, we're going to take a break and get cleaned up. But when we come back, we're going to get to taste that firecracker shrimp and these wonderful cocktails. Don't go anywhere. This is Community Cooking.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
One in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. I'm here with Chef and Apra, and look at this beautiful food you made today.
I know, we're having a cocktail party.
And it's a cocktail party. It is.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And so let's start with Firecracker Shrimp 2 ways.
Right?
So the first way right here with lemongrass skewers.
Yes. Oh, great. I will grab one.
Yeah.
I love that little lemongrass. And of course, this is the edible garnish, right?
That's always a good thing.
I do too. I love it. I just like to squeeze it
Little
and add a
squeeze.
little flavor to
Yeah.
it. You can even grab a little piece of,
Oh, the Thai basil.
right? And then just do a little smack it to get that extra flavor infused. Why not?
Absolutely.
There you go.
All right.
You as a bartender know about that, right?
Oh, yeah, releases the oils.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it.
Right.
I'll put the whole thing in my mouth.
3 ingredients.
Basically, chili sauce,
Brown sugar. And then
a little bit of lime zest.
Little lime zest.
And a little lime juice on top.
that's so delicious.
Very easy. And
And the
you
lemongrass
could always
skewer.
Oh, and garlic. There was garlic in our oil just to add a little flavor
Yeah.
to the spices that we bloomed.
And then second firecracker shrimp.
Yes.
So this is shell on.
Yes.
Let me give you one.
Oh, thank you.
But we're not eating the shell. Some people
No.
can if you want to.
You totally can.
Yeah.
And I prefer not to.
Let me give a little squeeze of lime.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm gonna
Let's peel it first.
Yes, exactly. So the easiest way I find to peel it is I just grab it by the legs and pull it off, and it cleans off pretty easily.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll do it one more time there, and I just kind of
Pinch the tail.
and pull it right out. Look at that, yum! I would call that finger licking good.
Yeah.
Now I will take you up on an offer of that lime skewer or lime wedge.
Squeeze of lime.
Thank you.
We're messy today.
I love. Let's see with their fingers. Why not?
I
It's
love
just you
it.
and me.
Right.
Little cocktail hour. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ding. Buttery. I can see why they akin it to lobster.
Yeah.
Wow. That is
Very
delicious.
firm, but not overcooked, and a little smoky because the shell got a little char. But I think it's nice because you didn't burn the shrimp. You got a little char on the shell, but it tastes really good.
Yeah, it protected it, steamed it inside its own juices. Can I get you
Please.
Can I get you a napkin? Oops, I'll get you that one.
Thank
How
you so
fun.
much.
I love when you're able to just get dirty and messy, especially
Absolutely.
with friends.
Yeah.
Or family. It's an interactive snack.
We're not being fancy. This is delicious, friendly, almost tapas-style food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now the limoncello cocktail.
Yes. And we can almost call it a spritzer because we added the bubbly water to
That's
it
true.
to make it a little more effervescent.
It's true.
So cheers to
Cheers.
your good health.
To your good health.
Thank you. Oh, that's delicious.
That tastes so much better than any other limoncello I've had before. Because sometimes limoncello can be a little bitter.
Yeah.
There's no bitterness in that at all. And
I wonder if it's because of the cane sugar.
well, the cane sugar is nice too. I think I can taste a difference
Yeah.
rather than using refined white sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so good.
It is lovely. Are you daring to have a second sip?
Right?
Well, I like it because it's bright and it's citrusy and it kind of cuts through all the spice that we had.
Oh, it pairs
Like,
beautifully.
I find this was a lovely temperate spice. This one had some heat on it.
Yeah.
You could really taste that smoked paprika.
Well, that was the dry spice.
Yes.
And that gave it, so it's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love it.
Yeah,
I love
shrimp
it.
2 ways.
Well, Anne, thank you so much for being here today. The recipes were delicious. Please try this at home. Thank you from the crew, myself and Anne, for watching this episode today. And remember, it just goes to show you, some of the best chefs really are right here in our own community. See you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.